And we are already live. Welcome to the live stream, guys. If you're watching this back, let me wipe myself there. Mm. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. My good name is Omboy. Thank you so much for being here. Oh my God, we are talking about, do men fear strong women? Do men fear strong women? That's what we're gonna be talking about. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Omboy. Oh my God, it's yet another day to keep growing on here on I Am Omboy Live. At least today is the second day. Okay, today is the second day of like uh being consistent here with the streaming. Okay. Olaf says hey to you. Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. Okay, so I think today is literally the second day of me being consistent here. After last week I didn't stream, and we all know that. Bob says hello to you, Bob. Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. How are you doing? Olaf says, my friend, how are you? I'm good. Guys, when you join into the live stream, kindly like the live stream. Thank you so much for being so supportive. Oh my God, I don't know what I would do without you guys. We've known each other through this channel, but honestly, I really appreciate you very, very much. Everybody who is on here. Bob says, surviving you. I'm living, not surviving. Okay, how are you guys doing? We're talking about, do men fear strong women? Do men fear strong women? Or is it that like men are not compatible with strong women? Do men fear strong women, or is it like they are not compatible with strong women? Okay, so that's what you're gonna be talking about. And I know I have so many men on the channel, so I'd like to hear you guys' input when it comes to the topic. Let me know, how was your week? How was your weekend? Okay, how was your weekend? Because you're already on the week. All of this, everyone, please like and subscribe for the people, man. Thank you. Honestly, oh my God, this channel have been such a, let me tell you, I really don't care if I only get one view. Honestly, it's been such a growing platform for me. The time that I've been here streaming have been so much. I just feel like my life just got better by streaming here. We come on here, we have real life discussions, real life topics, okay? Real life topics. So that also what we talk on here, because I also take you guys' responses seriously, and I think about that after the show, and that is really transformative for me. Bob says, I don't fear strong women, especially if they can provide for me. What, are you looking for, sugar mama? Elaborate, please. Olaf says, what's the time you friend? It's 8:05 p.m. here in Kenya. Olaf says, hey friend, you still remember baby part? I do. So I think people always say men are afraid of strong women, but are they really afraid, or are they just choosing men they are compatible with? So that's the question that we're asking ourselves. We always hear, oh my God, men don't like women that are strong. Men don't like women that can do things for themselves. Men like women that they can control. Men like women that they can tell, do this, do that. Men like women that they like women that enhance their ego, that makes them feel that they are better than the women, okay? So people always say that men are afraid of strong women, but that's the question that we're asking. If you're a man right now, are men afraid of strong women, or are they just looking for women that they're compatible with? Okay, because there are different things when it comes to, like, when you talk about strong women, there's a lot of things when it comes to the same. There's the financial aspect. So strong women are independent financially, emotionally expressive, assertive, speaks their minds, do not tolerate nonsense. Literally, a strong woman is a woman who's not, they really have their things going on. So your 2 cents or your 2 coins or whatever you give them doesn't stop them from calling you a nonsense, or like calling you a, you know what I'm saying, okay? So do men fear strong women? That's what we are talking about here. Bob says, women that are strong don't go for the men that like them. Why? Why do you say that women that are strong doesn't go for men that are like them? All of this, I say women can be strong so they can stand for themselves. They don't have to to be like controlled. Okay, let me tell you what Bob says: women that are strong don't go for men that are like them. Okay, I feel like most women who have things going on, they already have great jobs, they already have great cars. Those are the women that you see them having. So because this woman is an alpha female, okay, and I just feel like an alpha female will maybe go for a better male so that they can be compatible, which brings us to a question that's literally so interesting. Can two strong personalities actually work together long term? Let me type that. And this is, can two an alpha female and an alpha male work together long term? John Matthew says, hi John Matthew, good to see you, welcome to the live stream. Can two strong personalities okay, can two strong personalities work together long term? Okay, so Ella Musa says, good evening to you. Six Ford says, hey girl, hey to you. So I'm asking, when a female, when we are talking about strong women, okay, when we are talking about strong women, and we are talking about females who have things going on, they have financial capabilities, they are not looking for somebody to provide for them, they are assertive, they express themselves, they don't tolerate nonsense. When you're dealing with this woman, which means this is literally an alpha female, okay, can an alpha female end up with an alpha male, and can they survive long term? That's a question that we're asking right here. Let me know your opinions when it comes to the topic. Let me see. Olaf says, I say women can be strong so they can stand for themselves. They don't have to be like controlled. Okay, I also feel like women should be strong, because honestly, especially when it comes to, like, you know me, I always refer to African traditions and stuff. When it comes to African traditions, the way women have been stifled by men, like being put in your place, you know what I'm saying? The way women have, how that have been done to women, women fearing their own men that they sleep with at the end of the day. I can't even imagine fearing somebody that you're even sleeping with, like somebody that you give them the comfort of, like, okay, I can't even imagine somebody that you give them the comfort of sleeping with them or like being with them. I can't even imagine fearing somebody that you have such a connection with them. Okay, and I feel like that's really messed up. That's really messed up when you even think about it. Okay, John Matthew, hi to you, good to see you. Olaf says, no, Paul, be wrong, you don't, Bob. An alpha male would want to control. So an alpha male would want to control, but remember, he's also dealing with an alpha female, because this woman have everything going on for her. So Ule Moussa says, bonjour, I think he's French. Good evening to you. So we have a question right here. Can two strong personalities work together long term? And remember, we are talking about, do men fear strong women? Do men fear strong women? Do you feel like if you're a strong woman, men are afraid of you? When you have things going on, when you're not there begging, when you're not there putting up with bare minimum because you have things going on, do you feel like men fear strong women? One of the things that I was told when I was in university, one thing that people used to say is like, make sure by the time you're out of university, you come. So that, I think this is something that people used to always tell everybody, okay? People used to say, make sure when you're in university, you come out with a partner, because when you get out, nobody will want you, okay? But understand in what context they were talking about. The reason that why people would say this is because, according to the mindset that was over there, when you get out of school and like you don't have a partner, when you get out of university and you don't have a partner, what people used to think is like, most of the time, people who do not have university degrees will not go for you, okay? And men with university degrees, we usually go for women at high school level or even below, so that they can have women who can respect them, and also the fact that they know what women in university, the type of exposure that's out there, so they don't want to deal with that. Okay, you get what I'm saying? But that makes me feel like that's another thing, like men are even afraid of women that are educated. Okay, but I'm just asking, is that really true? Do men fear strong women? Do men fear strong women? 6 4 says, what's up, how are you doing? Comment to verse. Comment. Okay, I couldn't see that, sorry. One boy, my friend, they couldn't be two lion kings and one. Oh, they can. We cannot have two lions in one, in two kings in one house. Okay, it honestly makes sense. It honestly makes sense. So I feel like sometimes strong means confident, but sometimes it's used to describe someone who doesn't compromise. Okay, strong could mean confidence, but sometimes it's used to mean somebody who doesn't compromise. And the reason why I say this is because sometimes it's not like this woman is being an alpha or like controlling or anything. So I just feel like this is just a woman who knows what she really wants. And the fact that she cannot compromise, men want women who will compromise for them. You know what? You're cheating on me. It's like, that's fine because you're the man of the house. Oh, you know what? You're putting your hands on me. That's fine because you're the man of the house. So I feel like men are looking for that. And like when a woman cannot compromise on her values, that's literally a problem. And that's why we have a question. I think the question did disappear because of the type of, we didn't say nonsense, but like somebody saying hi several times. So let me type that again. Can two strong personalities actually work long term? Can two strong personalities actually work long term? Welcome to the live stream. My name is Wambui. Thank you so much for being here. Can two strong personalities actually work long term? Yang Yu What says, hi to you, good to see you, welcome to the live stream. Can two strong personalities actually work long term, especially when it comes to relationships? Okay, can two strong personalities actually work long term, especially when it comes to being in a relationship? Okay, being husband and wife. And remember, you guys were asking, do men fear strong women? Or is it like they don't choose strong women because they're just not compatible? Yang Yu Word says, I love you. Oh, okay. And is that Chinese? What is that language? Is that Chinese? Oh my god, my phone is so cool, the fact that it translates. So wow, that's so good. Olaf says, so that's why if a man taught a woman must be able to touch him back. I mean, like violent. So that's why if a woman must. Okay, if a man put his hands on a woman must be able to touch him back. Okay, do you guys believe that? Olaf is saying if a man puts his hands on a woman, the woman should put his hands on the man. Do you guys believe that? Do you guys think that's cool or something? Ogbono soup or egusi soup? I really don't know what these soups are, but I'm gonna go with egusi. What's egusi? Welcome to the live stream. My name is Wambui. We are talking about, do men fear strong women? Okay, and if you're gonna be talking about the topic, we have to think about, why are men intimidated by strong women? So basic knowledge, Nigerian food. Okay, I want some. So basic knowledge, why men are intimidated by strong women. So I feel like most men do feel pressure to succeed if a woman is more successful, okay? Because you're not gonna be with a successful person and you're just here trying to be a failure. First of all, if you claim to be the head of the household, you need to prove that even with your success, even with financial, okay? Also, one other thing that I feel like why men are intimidated of strong women, because traditional gender roles get challenged. when you're dealing with a strong woman, this is somebody who goes to work from, let's say, sometimes even 7 a.m., especially for women who are in business. Somebody who is working on her career from 7 to like 10, let's say 10 p.m. at some point. So when will this woman wake up and fix for you breakfast and bring you breakfast in bed? Okay, when will this woman have time to like massage your ego? When will this woman have time to cook for you? So I feel like men are intimidated by strong women because their traditional gender roles gets challenged. Because first of all, if you're not even making better money than the woman, it's like, if you're in the house, you should be the one who is cooking. So I feel like also that the fact that they know when they're with strong women, these women are not gonna be doing those things. These women are not gonna be doing laundry for them. It's like, it's supposed to be 50-50. Okay, when it comes to this. GP Sang says, my girlfriend broke up with me because I called her. Okay, I am not the one to tell you if you crossed the line on that one. Let other people tell you. Kenny says, you're so beautiful. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome to the live stream, you guys. And Kenny and the friends, I would like to know, do you think men fear strong women? Do you think men fear strong women? Or is it just they're not compatible? Lynn Hendricks says, hi to you. Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. Oh my God, did your birthday pass? Did your birthday pass? Kenny says, I wanna be your friend. Oh, okay. You are, because you're here. You are. Okay. So as I was saying, why men feel intimidated by strong women? First of all, because they feel if you're dealing with a strong woman, you gotta be successful. You gotta be successful because she's already successful. So that you can feel better, or you can feel like you have something to offer, you have to do better. Okay. Also traditional gender roles gets challenged. That's where we are at. Lynn says, do you still know me? Yeah, I just asked you if your birthday passed. I still know you. I don't forget people, especially you guys. Oh my goodness, where are you from? I'm from Kenya. Where are you from? Guys, welcome to the live stream. Also, why are men intimidated by strong women? Another thing is ego. Okay, men like to feel like they have everything going on. Men like to feel like they can provide for their women. Men like to feel like they're in control. Okay, men like to feel like they got it all going on. So when they cannot do that, so that's where the ego comes in. So it's not like this person doesn't want to be with a strong woman. It's just like, because he's not at that point, he knows that he gotta have some ego, and he's not gonna have an ego if the woman is doing better than them. So let me know. These are just my assumptions, you guys. But you guys have real experiences, especially the men in the building. Let me know. Do you feel like men fear strong women? Oh, I'm from Rwanda. Okay, welcome to the live stream, Rwandese. Thank you so much for being here. So another aspect to the same thing. Remember, guys, we have a question on the screen. Can two personalities actually work long term? Can two personalities actually work long term? Okay. Can two personalities actually work long term? So that's what you're talking about. Remember, you're talking about, do men fear strong women? I feel like they do. Because the question is, do men fear strong women, or is it a compatibility issue? Are you single? No, I'm engaged. So there's also the compatibility argument. Not every personality matches. So it has nothing to do with anybody's strongness or anybody's weakness. It's just that these people are not compatible, and you can't force that. Okay. Another thing is, two dominant personalities can clash. Okay, when you have two alpha people, an alpha male, an alpha female, those are two very strong personalities, and at some point they are gonna clash because nobody is willing to go down for the other person. Mato says, Jesus died on the cross for you. Amen, amen, amen. Okay, welcome here. Brilliant Chazim says, you're so cute. Thank you so much. Is it Brilliant? Bralin. That's such a unique name. You have such a unique name, and I think it's beautiful. So remember, guys, we're asking, do men fear strong women? Do men fear strong women? So this the aspect of like two dominant personalities can crash. You're so cute. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here. Remember, my name is Wamboy. I normally go live every day, Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So always look for me at that hour. Convert that to your local time. Also, you guys, something else. Make sure you're subscribing. Oh, I'm skipping your chats. They're not coming through. That usually happen. I'm not okay. Sometimes the phone doesn't bring the all the chats in, but no, I'm not skipping any of your chats. I just read the one for Wambo, my friend. They couldn't be two lions in the house. Try to use different words. YouTube does that sometimes. Make sure I always tell everybody to make sure you're copying. Make sure you're copying the comment, because most of the time the comment will not come through. I'm not skipping your comment, Olaf. Sorry for that. David Njoroge says, hello, personally, I don't fear a strong woman. I don't fear strong women, and strong personality also work. Okay, why don't you fear them? Like, do you prefer a strong woman? Do you prefer a woman who is doing better than you financially? They have more confidence than you do. They don't tolerate. Do you prefer that, or you prefer a lady that you can control? Because honestly, I feel like most men prefer ladies that they can control. Okay, but they can't say that directly, so we all hide behind the curtain saying, oh, I no, it's just no, we're just not compatible. But I just feel like men prefer women that they can control, because that makes them feel better. Okay, that's just my perspective, or like what I see from the outside. Olaf, I'm not skipping your chats. Make sure you're typing again. I'm not skipping your chats. I would never do that. Zavan says you're so pretty. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So the compatibility issue that we're talking about. Not every personality matches. Guys, and I gotta remind you, if you're commenting, make sure you're copying the comment, because sometimes YouTube doesn't allow the comment to come through. Maybe you're using words that they don't want or they don't like. So two dominant personalities can clash. As we are talking about, when you have an alpha female and an alpha male, that's like two kings fighting for the throne. Of course, it's not gonna work. Okay, but it can if one person is willing to like let their guard down, if one person is willing to humble themselves. But when you're dealing with two alpha males, it's like nobody is willing to humble themselves. Everybody wants to be up here, so that cannot work. So another thing, do men fear strong women? That's the question that we're asking ourselves. So another thing that I think, according to me, is like some men prefer peace over constant power struggles. Okay, so see, remember when we are talking about alpha female and an alpha male being together, there's always this power of struggle. Okay, the man is saying, you know what, I'm putting my foot down, you cannot do this, and the woman is saying, you know what, I'm putting my foot down, you can't tell me what to do. So some men just prefer the peace over the constant chaos. Let me know if you prefer strong women. Why do you prefer strong women? And if you don't prefer strong women, you like women who are below you, like women that you can control. Let me know, why would you prefer that? Seda Adventure says hello to you, Seda. Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. My name is Wamboy. I'm new in your channel. Welcome. Feel free to make yourself comfortable around here. Hilt of David says, so beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. I'm asking a question. Do men fear strong women? Do men fear strong women? And I think we've already talked about, like, when you're talking about strong woman, most men are usually alphas. Although we do have men that are better. So when you have an alpha female and an alpha male, there's a lot of crashing going on here. Like, there's a lot of fight for power, you know. So right now we are at a place where we are talking about the compatibility argument. So some men prefer peace over constant struggle for power. Like, oh, I'm the man on the house, you know, you're the man of the house, you can't tell me what to do. You know, some men just don't want to deal with that. We've also talked about the ego that men do have. Most men have ego and they're not willing to share that position. The one that, like, you know, I'm in control. They don't want to share that with everybody. Also, another thing that we've talked about is like men feel pressure when a woman is doing better than them. So that's why sometimes they don't prefer a woman who is doing better. Another thing is traditional gender roles. When you're dealing with a strong woman, this is a woman who is looking for her own money. She's out of the house by 7 a.m. So you can't tell her to do laundry for you. When does she get the time to do laundry for you? She's busy making money. Winston Pierre says hi. Hi Winston, good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. If you don't mind, you guys, let me know, why do men prefer weak women? And why do men fear strong women? Lucy Bernard Lifestyle says hi. Hi Lucy, good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. Thank you so much. All I've said that I'm skipping your chats, but your chats are not coming through. I just want to remind you that. David says, a strong personality is a character in someone. So it's not something brought by someone's earning or power in a relationship. That's a different kind of strong. But see, okay, and I know what you're talking about. There are people who are just naturally strong. It's just their personality. But most of the time, let me tell you, when you have some money somewhere, you know, you have some money somewhere, there's that ego that comes with money. And it doesn't care. The ego doesn't care if you're male or female. Okay? You're gonna feel that like, And I know we all have made money in our lives, or like we've had a particular amount of money in our lives. And then that money gave you so much, like, you seeing yourself, you feeling yourself. And that's what happens even with women. It's not even any different with women. The reason why men feel like they are in control and everything is because they are the head of the households and they are providing. So why not? So you can say that they can't feel that way because of course they are providing. And there's that ego that comes with knowing that you're providing. And that the same thing happens with a woman. When a woman is providing, she feels the same, like that whole ego of like, I'm the man in this household. Keke Mofeken. So Devin Njoroge, I do disagree with you. I feel like money brings you that ego. It gives you that confidence. Do you guys agree with me? Do you feel like money gives you the ego and the confidence? Keke Mofokeng says hello. Hello to you, Keke. Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. Jacob Chiwaya. Oh, Chiwaya. I almost read it as Chihuahua. Jacob Chiwaya says, hey, how are you doing? I'm from Zambia. Thank you so much for being here, Jacob. What do you think about the topic? Do men fear strong women? Do men fear strong women? Lynn says hi. Okay, hi Lynn. Guitar Lion Heart says hi. Hi to you. We're talking about, do men fear strong women? Do men fear strong women? And Devin Njoroge just said that, like, the whole being strong is not a character that somebody gets because of the money that they make, but it's just their natural character. But I'm saying, I'm saying, but this happens to me. When I have money, I have that ego. I have that strongness to me. Like, I feel like, you know, you can't tell me nothing. First of all, I can pay you to sit down or to shut up. Okay? Let me know what you're thinking. Dan says, can you sing me happy birthday? I'm 100 today. Okay, we will do that at the end of the show. Trey Mary says, send some love. Dan says, can you sing me happy birthday? I'm hungry. At the end of the show, you're gonna do that. Guitar Land, are feminine women weak? No. Okay, maybe that's a question. What's your answer, Guitar? So, do you guys think feminine women are weak? Feminine, and maybe somebody is wondering, like, what's feminine? Feminine is like, a woman is like, she's womanly, okay? She's womanly, she's like, oh, she's shy, she's, what is that? She's sweet, how do you define feminine? Okay, I don't think it translates to weakness. It doesn't translate to weakness when I think about a feminine woman. It just is just a woman who is feminine. That's just what it is for me. But I think people who confuse strong women, I feel like people confuse women that are strong to be like masculine. Do you guys feel like strong women are masculine? Do you think like strong women are masculine? I honestly don't feel like strong women are masculine. Okay, guys, remember we're talking about, do men fear strong women? Do men fear strong women? Let me know your inputs. Oh my god, I'm getting overwhelmed by the comments. Let me keep reading. Mike laughs, okay. Jason says, stay sweet, sis. Thank you so much, Jason, for being here. Leon Ndegwa says, hi, Leon. Good to see you. David says, then you said it. That's ego and pride. If that's the kind of strong one brings to me, I will send them back to your parents or go build your home. Ha ha. I will prefer peace then. Won't stay. Okay. So when it comes to like, you don't want a strong woman. So according to you, David, you don't want a strong woman. You want a okay, I don't want to say weak woman, but at the same time, you want a weak woman or a feminine woman. What do you want? Oluye Mitombi says hi. Hi to you. Leon says, uko aje, Bobo? I'm good. Samraju says, Wamboy, yes, me. Good to see everybody. Welcome to the live stream. My name is Wamboy. We are talking about, do men prefer strong? Okay, do men fear strong women? And Gitao brought up a question asking that, like, do I think feminine women are weak? And my basic answer is no. But I don't know. Do you guys think feminine women are weak? Okay. One thing that I'm not gonna do, and like, I don't know if I call myself, I wouldn't say that I'm feminine, but I also at the same time I would say that I'm masculine. But what I would say is, like, I'm not gonna sit there. If being feminine means allowing somebody's son to take me for granted, to put his hands on me, if being feminine means me humbling myself to that level of like being disrespected like that, then I don't want to be feminine at all. Okay, so remember, you're talking about, do men fear strong women, and we were at the story of like compatibility. Kushbu Kash says, pretty, thank you so much. So I was talking about not every personality matches. Also, I was talking about two dominant personalities can clash. When you're talking about an alpha female and an alpha male, those are two very strong personalities. Most probably they're not gonna be matching at all. Okay. Another thing is, like, some men prefer peace over constant power struggle. And that's what it is. So if you know you're a weak man, it's just good for you to like know your type. Just know your type, okay? Godson says, hello to the realest woman in the 254. Yes, thank you so much for being here. Welcome to the building, Godson. Good to see you. What do you think when it comes to the topic? Do men fear strong women? Do men fear strong women? What is your insights when it comes to the topic? Dam Kit Kang says, ni hao. Ni hao. Ni hao. How do you translate that? Welcome to the building, Dam Kit Kang. Is that Chinese or is it, what's that flag? Honestly, sometimes I don't understand these flags, especially when it comes to Asian countries. I don't know the flags, but welcome to the building. So you know, there's something that also makes you wonder when it comes to men fearing strong women. Is it fear, or is it just that doesn't work for me? Okay, China. Oh my God, I'm being watched from China. Oh my God, thank you so much for being here. Honestly, I don't take you for granted. So you have to wonder, like, because there's an issue of like so fear can only be driven by two things. Either one thing, like, these men are being intimidated by strong women, okay? Or another thing is like, okay, we are just not compatible, okay? But you gotta wonder which is which, okay? Do men fear strong women? Do men fear strong women? That's what we're talking about. Let me know your insights. If you're a man, let me know. And if you're a woman, do you think men fear strong women? Okay, if you're a strong woman, let me know. If you're a strong woman, do you feel like men fear strong women? And if you're a feminine woman, okay, weak woman, let me know. Okay, nobody will ever say that you're weak, but if you know you're not that strong, like, let me know your insights. Godson says, I don't fear a strong woman because I'm just a natural born leader. Toxicity and personality disorder are not signs of strength. And that's what I need my African brothers and sisters to understand, okay? Because I feel like our men in Africa have that confused. The difference between toxicity, personality disorders, and being a leader in the household, okay? I feel like African people, African men need to understand that because I feel like because of how we grew up seeing our fathers acting up, maybe being abusive to our mothers, you think that's how you show your masculinity or how you show that you're a man. But honestly, if you're literally a leader, you don't have to put your hands on anybody to just to feel like a man. Honestly, do you guys side with me, especially the African people in the building? Like, I feel like our parents or the generation of our fathers, they really had that messed up. For them, you have to really put your hands on your woman to put her in her place. But what that did is just messed us up as children. Okay? David Jeroge says, I said I like strong women and do fear them. And I said some people have strong characters built in them, but some are strong because of either money. How one used their power bring results. Okay, I see that. So you like strong women, you like those who are strong, but it's their character. It's how they are. They just emit this confidence with them. But when it comes to the other side where like somebody have this strongness because of the finances that they are making, that's what you're afraid of. Okay, I see that. Charlene Savara says, Hi Charlene, good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. My name is Wamboy. Let me know, do you think men fear strong women? Joe Monda says, Hi Joe, good to see you. Oh, no man can. My country is Kenya and you're just being annoying now. Okay, God, on this day, Lord, let me tell you, you never know that there's weird people until you start doing anything online. That's when you'll know that there's a lot of idiots out here. Godson Blessed says, women or men who are verbally or physically abusive are not strong. They need therapy. And that's what it is right there. That's what it is right there. Because I feel like, especially when it comes to black people, we do confuse what it is like to be strong. Okay, I feel like because of what, as a generation or like as black people, because of what we've gone through when it comes to colonization, for the black people in America, the slavery, because of what we've had to go through, we've been told to like, we have to always resist and be strong. That's why you see like how our men, and I'm not saying that to like put a connotation of like how black or African men are, but I'm just saying we've always been told to be strong. Okay, we've always been told to be strong. So sometimes that when you see a woman who is trying to take your place as a man with the whole strongness thing, that sends you into shockwaves. Rishi Gupta says, nice braids. Oh, thank you. Sokura Bulema says, hi Sokura, good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. Do you think men fear strong women? And you as a man, do you fear women that are strong, or does that even phase you? Does that even phase you as a man? Godson says, I know what you mean, my sister. And I know people who've grown up in societies where like we really have toxic people. You know what I'm saying? Ali says, hi to you. Give me your number. No, I never share my number. Azinga says, hi to you. Welcome to the live stream. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Remember, you're talking about, do men fear strong women? Do men fear strong women? That's what you're talking about. Do men fear strong women? So when it comes to compatibility, because sometimes people are like, I don't fear you. I ain't fearing any strong woman. It's just that we are just not compatible. But you gotta ask yourself, what is this compatibility about? Is it about the strongness? Is it about the man's ego? What is it about really? Is it about the woman not being able to do the traditional gender roles? Tyler Buddy says, Tyler Buddy Heath. Welcome, Tyler. Welcome back. Hello. How are you doing? Thank you so much for being here, Tyler. What do you think when it comes to the topic? Do men fear strong women? Do men fear strong women? Joe Monda says, Papua New Guinea are also black and also experiences this also. Oh, I'm assuming you guys are African countries, so I would assume you're black. Although we have the North Africa. Oh, you guys are also black and experience this also. Okay, okay. I sympathize with everybody who is black out there having to be strong because nobody treasures us when we are being weak. Like, you know, because I feel like as black people, we've always been looked as tools of work, as slaves, like as people who dig the land, as people who do all these other things. But when it comes to loving, I think that trauma kind of like told us that we literally have to be strong. But also, I can also see that when it comes to even white men sometimes. T Michelle says hi. Hi T Michelle, good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. Charles says, oh my goodness, it is you. Wamalul, how are you? I'm good. I'm good. How are you? T Michelle says, can you make me a fan? Blue, okay. John Mora, yeah, the truth is you just showed up. Stay here for a little bit. Okay, John Mora says true, okay? Huh. So I feel like when it comes to this topic, do men fear strong women? Do men fear strong women? This is literally a very interesting topic. Do men fear strong women? Okay. Do men fear strong women? Vicky, it's been a minute before I saw you. How are you? I'm good. I'm good, Vicky. How are you? Sophia Mulati says hi. Hi to you. Welcome to the building, you guys. Remember, we do have a question. We do have a question. Where did the question go? I think it's somewhere up here. Let me see if I can be able to pin it and see if you guys can answer the question. Oh. Okay, welcome to the building. Godson, I'm about to read that. Let me know, do you think men fear strong women? Do you think men fear strong women? That's what you're asking today. That's the sole purpose of the show today is to answer or to even ask ourselves, do men fear strong women? Godson says, I think our generation and the next generation can make it better. Just like the previous generation almost put an end to polygamy. Okay, I know. Because honestly, like my dad, his dad, his dad had two wives, but most of him and his brothers, they all had only one wife. Maybe because that was not the best, or like they didn't like their lifestyle when they had all those women. I know the previous generation literally put an end to that, but I feel like we can do better. You know, what our parents' generation kept going is the domestic violence. That one for sure, they really kept it going. But now our generation, we are the ones to put an end to that. And maybe when you think about do men fear strong women, maybe this is the topic that literally helps us to be able to process that. And even for men to ask themselves, what do I want? Do I want a strong woman? If your answer is no, just don't go for a strong woman. Don't feel the need to show yourself to be a man, because I feel like men who go for strong women, but they really can't handle the strong women, when their masculinity is being challenged, the only way that they can prove that they are men is by putting their hands on the women. Honestly, do you guys feel like that? Do you guys feel like when men feel like their masculinity is being challenged, they get abusive because that's the only way that they can prove that they are men? Do you guys think that, or do you guys think that I'm wrong? Okay, remember the question is, do men fear strong women? Let me keep reading. Tyler says, we Americans are black and strong. Okay. I know. Lola says, men nowadays jealous of women. Honestly, if I was a man, I would also be jealous of women. Women have been given so much opportunities right now, and I feel like because of the way women have been forgotten for so many years, we got to a point where we did put all our emphasis on like making sure that women have an education, women are not being abused. So we did all of that, but then at the same time forgetting men. Do you guys feel that way? Or is it because right now men are drying out of addictions and stuff like that, but nobody cares because everybody is focusing on like, oh, what does the women want? Like, what can we do for the women? What can we do for the ladies? But I feel like we can't have a continuity of generations if we focus on one gender and leave out the other one. But I feel like for so many years, they focused on the men and left the women out. But we are at the point where we are all focusing on the women and now we are leaving the men out. So when you say men, when Lolo says men are jealous of women, I kind of see that. And if I was a man, I would honestly be jealous of women because women are getting so much attention. Do you guys agree with me that like we've shifted their attention so much from like the men, and like we've put so much emphasis of the women while at the same time forgetting the boy child? But I feel like the boy child the boy child is also as important as the girl child. Okay, so welcome to the stream. My name is Wamboi. We are talking about, do men fear strong women? Let me know what's your input. Milton says hello from London. Welcome to the building. Thank you so much. Johnson Mohan says depends on what you mean by strong women. So what I mean by strong women, there's the independent financially, emotionally expressive, speaks their mind, they are assertive, that do not tolerate nonsense. That's what we are talking about when you talk about strong women, okay? So, but I feel like sometimes strong means confident, but also sometimes it means a woman who doesn't compromise, okay? That's just what it is. Sometimes it means a woman who doesn't compromise. And maybe sometimes men, maybe that's too much for men sometimes. A woman who doesn't compromise, that's too much for men. Ball says money or love, choose one. Money or love? Money or love, choose one. Money. What do you mean? Hello, Giorgio says hello to you. Good to see you. Because with the money you can even buy love. Good to see you, hello, Giorgio. Good to see you. What do you think? Do men fear strong women? What do you think when it comes to the topic? Risha's motto says, I never thought I would see an angel here on earth with my naked eyes. Thank you so much for being here. This Godson, sending some love to Godson Risi. Oh, David Njoroge says, these days I really don't think people fear each other. These days the current generation are cleaning the streets, and I think it's almost fair. My thoughts. Okay, honestly, I feel like this generation still, I feel like we are being expressive, but then at the same time, the traits of our fathers are still here, okay? The traits of the men who have been putting their hands on their women are still here, okay? The traits of the men, we still have men who are raised by men who put their hands on their mothers, okay? These boys are still here and they saw that. So we can sit here and say that like, okay, this generation is fearless, nobody fears anybody. The truth is, when it goes to bottom line, these things are still happening, they're still here with us. So as far as I could want to say that like nobody fears anybody, I do know some men do fear strong women. Guru says, what happened to Guru's card? I really don't know. You tell me. John Mohan says, they are all good qualities but hard to find. Okay, so do you prefer, so it seems to me like you're preferring a strong woman. Do you guys prefer strong women? And I think this will lead me to another question. What is the difference between confidence and being difficult? Because remember, there's somebody who did ask, what's the definition of a strong woman? What's the difference between confidence and being difficult? Let me type that. What's the difference? What's the difference between confidence and being difficult? So this is a question that we are asking. Remember, it's because we are still talking about, do men fear strong women? Let me type that real quick. Okay, welcome to the stream, guys. My name is Wamboi. Thank you so much for being here. We are talking about, do men fear strong women? What's the difference between confidence and being difficult? Okay, what's the difference between confidence and being difficult? What's the difference between confidence and being difficult? Wow. Ellie Georgia, Vicky says, it all depends on how that woman carries herself around her man. Okay, but the thing is, you know, before this man becomes her man, before this man becomes anybody's man, at some point this man is just a man that they don't know. But the real question is, when you guys are getting to do courtship and to know each other, when this man knows that this woman is a strong woman, okay, does that scare the man away? Does that make the man stay? So I feel like when it comes to strong men, especially women who are doing so good financially, okay, when men stay with women that are doing better than them financially, it's usually a matter of time before they leave. Okay, honestly, I feel like men cannot handle a woman who is doing better than them. It's either they are on the same level or the man is doing better. I feel like that's just as much as the men can handle. So I feel like most of the time when it comes to women, you are only allowed to achieve as much success as your man. You can't go past that. When you do that, then there's problems. You're being difficult. So remember, what's the difference between confidence and being difficult, especially when it comes to like men being strong, women being strong, and all of that. Okay, and also remember to tell me where you're watching me from. Ella Georgia says confidence is positive but difficult. In its own word, is negative. Difficult in its own word is negative. I agree with that. Home Lavender says, hello, let me make sure that I'm pinning this because the comments are really coming through. Remember, I read everybody's comments, so don't sit there with your thought. Just share it. Okay, Home Lavender says, I'm Home Lavender from The Boys. Okay, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much. Comfort Gia says, hey, I'm watching from New York. Where are you from? I love your lessons. I'm from Kenya. My name is Wamboi. I was born and raised in Kenya. Thank you so much for being here. So that you guys can be able to see me another time, make sure you're subscribing. Joe Mora says, there's a distinctive difference between cultures that also affects the response from the male being. So what are some of those cultures and how do they affect the response from the male being? Because honestly, I can mostly refer from what I've seen when it comes to African cultures. But honestly, some of these cultures are really demeaning to women, because what was that? Like, what was this whole culture of like men discipline women like their children? Okay, you can't tell me like a man disciplines the wife in front of children and that's acceptable. That's a man being strong. Honestly, I can see the strongness in that. Okay, and I am so sorry to all the children, especially male children, who had to see that and now they have to practice it because that's part of their culture. Honestly, I feel like that's really messed up, and I hope anybody in that situation is able to walk out. Remember, guys, we're talking about, do men fear strong women? It's literally a question, so you're open to answer. Do men fear strong women? Divine Rapetswa says, hi to you, Divine. Good. Oh God, it's not Divine. Oh my God, Dinio. Sorry. Elo Georgia says, exactly, sister. Some men are threatened by women's progress. Okay. Dinio says, what are you talking about? I'm talking about, do men fear strong women? That's what we are talking about right here. Elo Georgia says, in Nigeria, by the way, sis. Okay. Welcome to the building. Thank you so much. Godson says, confidence is being assertive, but with respect. Being difficult is when the respect and rationality goes out of the door. Okay. Yeah, so I just wanted us to define that because I feel like some people are getting that lost. So I feel like as far as we have this topic, there's literally a middle truth. Insatiable is my name, says good afternoon. Good afternoon to you. Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. So as far as we are talking about, do men fear strong women? I feel like there's so many truths. Do men fear strong men? There's so many truths depending on somebody's reality and where they were born and raised. The free zone says, not necessarily. We don't like when they try to assert their success or status above us, subtly or overly. Okay? But why? But you know, men always, you know what you're saying, the free zone says, honestly, it literally makes so much sense because I've seen that play out in real life. But I cannot understand, why do men, okay, when a man wins, let me say, when your man is winning, he got a promotion at their job, he got a salary increase. When a man is doing better than his lady, the lady is usually happy. Oh my God, that's such a win, and you are over there celebrating. But when a woman is getting these promotions, she's making a lot of money, why can't their men just be happy for them? Is that really scary for you to do? Do you feel like you're losing your power in the house? What really happens, men here? I would like to know what really happens when your woman, you can even admit you are in the same level, but during the marriage, your woman starts to upgrade or like to do better when it comes to the job. She's ticking the bucket list and things like that. Why can't a man just be happy for their woman when they're starting to win? Godson says, a successful man will never resent a successful woman. And that's just what it is right there. It's only when you're not doing well, that, for example, I like to take an example of like Kamala Harris, the United States former vice president, okay? If her woman was a failure, he would be so intimidated by that woman's success, okay? He would be so intimidated, like he would even be the one who is planting doubt, asking her, who do you think you are to run for United States presidency, okay? But the fact that this man is a man who already has his own success, he's not threatened when this woman is trying to even do better. So he's just there being supportive. So I always say that because honestly, there's literally so many men who wouldn't allow their women to even run for presidency because it's like, who do you think you are? Not to mention planting seeds of doubt in your head, okay? So, and this will lead me, if your woman started, let's say you have a woman and she wants to run for presidency, okay? Remember, you literally are nobody, or even if you are somebody, if she becomes the president, she's going to be winning more than you. Would you support that? If your woman was running for like presidency or even let's say governorship, would you support that? Literally at that point you are a nobody. Would you support that? Wow, it's a lot. Ahmed says, you from Kenya, I bet. I know, I am. How did you know that? How did you know that? With my forehead popping here. Geo Gracious says, good advice. Okay, thank you so much for being part of the conversation. The Friesen says, it should be all about love. Example, so many disabled couples worldwide it should be all about love. Example, so many disabled couples worldwide, should the man feel less than when his wife is more successful than him? And that's the question that I'm asking. When you see, for example, when you come to the story of like Kamala Harris, honestly, I really admire her. When it comes to her, you can see her husband have not been a president before. Not to mention he's never even been a vice president, which means this woman is literally doing better than him, okay? But should he be intimidated by that? Should he be unhappy because the woman that he have in his life is being successful? Should that be the case, or should the man feel like we are all winning? Because that is what women, when we have presidents, when our man wins for presidency, the woman celebrates. He's like, oh my God, we did it, sweet. But can that happen when it's like the other way around? I'm just asking. I'm just curious. Insatiable says, some women with degrees, that's all they talk and act like they are better than you. Honestly, if you've been here on this channel for so long, I always talk about my degree. So let me tell you, if you don't have a degree and you end up marrying you will hear about my degree several times in a day. Because I'm not gonna try to play small to please you. Honestly, if you have an insecurity when it comes to that, I don't know what I can do, but I can't help you. Because honestly, for example, like for me, my education have been one of my my biggest achievement in my life, because I didn't come from a very well-off background. It was a struggle to go to school. So telling me not to speak about my academics is literally, honestly, it's like you're trying to take life out of me, okay? So that's just what it is, okay? And I know, and I see that. I feel like that's why when women have this level of education, I feel like women who have degrees, this is just how I feel, should always go for men who have degrees and better. Okay, when you are a high school graduate, go for somebody who is at least university graduate or better. Because you know what, the other day I was talking to my partner and I was when we were saying that, like, when when uh when a man is a high school dropout and he ends up marrying a university graduate, let me tell you, that relationship will never work. When the woman suggests anything in that household, it will always be like, oh, you think you're better than me because you're educated? You think you're better than me because you're educated? No. Honestly, I feel like everybody should go for people who are their category when it comes to education. Because look at even height, okay? When you have a really short man, and I'm not trying to like say anything bad about short men, but when you have a really short man with a really tall woman, anything the woman says is literally a problem for this guy, because he already have that doubt in himself. Like, he already doesn't appreciate himself how he is. So when this woman who is literally taller than him and he wishes he was like that, if this woman says anything, is a problem. Can you guys see what I'm talking about? Bulbul says, look at China. Successful men are choosing women who are quote unquote unsuccessful. That should hint you. And I know, let me tell you, in university, I had friends, male friends, and I think I still have them in my life, okay? And something that I've heard them say several times, that they will never marry a woman who've been to university. One of the thing is because the women in the university are so exposed. They are so exposed with what's happening. They've done the same things that these men have been doing in university. They feel like these women have been used a lot by university students, you see, and also older men and stuff. So, but I ask them, like, why? So for them, they say that, like, when it comes time to settle, they would prefer to settle with somebody who's never been to university. Okay, so honestly, Bulbul says, look at China. Successful men are choosing women who are quote unquote unsuccessful. So that should be a hint. So I think Bulbul is saying, honestly, Bulbul is saying directly to me, like, men fear strong women. Okay. Mr. Software says, how are you doing today? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How are you? Ahmed says, I knew you are Kenyan because of your voice. You look like Barack Obama, Dora. You're literally what is it called? You're literally gassing me up. Honestly, you're literally gassing me up. Da Frizo says, no, he shouldn't feel less than. He shouldn't feel less than, but most of the time he will feel less than. Okay, you guys are so good at gassing me up. Andrea Sleek Frederick Sound says, hi Andrea, you retracted your message. Stephen Mutumbu says, we are here. Welcome to Efika. Thank you so much for being here. Da Frizo says, much respect from Jamaica. I hope that is Jamaican flag. Okay, thank you so much for being here, Da Frizo. Thank you so much. Rachel Pizza says, hi to you, Loreto. Good to see you. Do men fear strong women? Do men fear strong women? That's what you're talking about. Do men fear strong women? Do you feel like men fear strong women? So I think when it comes to the topic, there's a middle truth. I feel like some men are intimidated. And when we are cheating, as we continue, let's ask another question right here. Remember to write me, guys, right here. Let me know, do men fear strong women? So, are men intimidated or just selective, in your opinion? Let me type that. And when I'm typing that, you guys take this time to type your thoughts. Are men intimidated, or are they just selective? Let me type that. Are men intimidated, or are they just selective? Welcome to the live stream, guys. My name is Wamboi. Are men intimidated, or are they selective? Intimidated. Intimidated. Are men intimidated? Ooh, wow. Intimidated. Yay. Remember to answer the question. Are men intimidated, or are they just selective? Are men intimidated or are they just selective? Are men intimidated or are they just selective? I have some typos on that, but I'm not trying to correct it. I have a lot to read here. Uh, Dafri says we all put egos aside. We all should put, you know what, that's what it is. We all put egos aside. I feel like for women, it's easy for women to put their egos aside, but honestly, but you know what? You know, me personally, I like strong men. To be really honest with you guys, I like strong men. I like men who are driven. I like men who open doors for their women. I like men who really know what they are doing. I like men who take care of their women. I like men who take care of their children without complaining. So I like strong men. But it's literally such a shame to see how men gets annoyed or like abusive when it comes to like when they are seeing somebody who is stronger than them. Okay. Godson says the educated woman should date a career oriented man. Listen, okay, the educated woman should date a career oriented man with whom she can have an intellectual conversation, just to minimize the potential resentment. Listen, okay, clock that. Okay, let me read this for you guys again, especially for the women if you're here and you're wondering. The educated woman should date a career-oriented man with whom she can have intellectual conversations, just to minimize the potential resentment. Because it's all about resentment. It's not about how you are talking about your success, okay? It's about how does this person feel. Okay, are they feeling less than because they never got an education? Are they feeling less than because they feel like they can never get to where you are? The phrase is very interesting topic. Honestly, it is. Ball says face power. Okay, welcome to the building. Thank you so much for being here. Insatiable says height shouldn't matter. Okay, honestly, and I think this is a side one. Do you guys feel like height shouldn't matter? Okay, but you know what, you guys, I'm gonna tell you a personal story when it comes to height. Although I'm not going to be mentioning them. Personal story. A man says, are you currently in India? No, not really. I've never been to India, honestly. David Njoroge says, let me be honest. If women in power reach and can do all these good things to keep their men, do you really think I would miss out on such an opportunity? Personally, you wouldn't mind to take a break. Okay, but you wouldn't be a man. Okay, you would be a man, but now you would. Let me tell you, I feel like when men take these roads, where like they have a sugar mommy and like there's a woman who is providing for them. There's a sugar mama. Like as a man, let me tell you, I feel like that's just how I feel. I feel like that's really messes up with your confidence as a man. Yes, you're gonna be provided for, but a man is not meant to be provided for. A man is meant to provide, okay? And I feel like that's how you guys take these opportunities where like you find these strong women who already have jobs going on, they have a car, and they want to provide for you. You take that opportunity, but how do you express that you're a man? By being abusive, okay? By doing the only thing that this man can do to you, okay? So I don't know how I feel about that. I know you wouldn't miss out on the opportunity, but at the same time, maybe you should. Dear gracious. Okay, you're sending messages and retracting them. Welcome to the building. So are men intimidated or are they just selective? Let me pin this. And I think it has a typo, but I'm not correcting that. Bulbo says, one boy, the answer is no. How women behave in the relationship is the problem. You're out of pocket, plain and simple. The answer is how women behave in relationships is the problem. Okay. So you're saying the answer to the question like, do men fear strong women? So somebody is saying the answer is no, men don't fear strong women. Okay, I don't know how direct the answer is, but because I feel like it's not as direct. Ahmed says man when they love and respect each other and secured with themselves, they will last as a couple. Money is important, but love is stronger. Okay, yeah. Okay, but I feel like what Ahmed is saying, when man is loved and respected, underline that, which is very important to men. I feel so. I don't know if I'm wrong or I'm tripping or anything, But when when the woman is not as successful, there's love and respect, because this man is the provider, which means this woman is respecting this guy because he's the provider, he's giving us the love in the household and all of those stuff. So of course she's going to be loving, of course she's going to be respectful. But when she doesn't have to, when you're not providing anything for her, you're not providing any security for her because you already have that, when you're not providing any of those things, will you still feel loved and respected? And that's the real question when it comes to, like, do women fear strong men? Okay, that's the real question. Joe Monda says, where I'm from, a successful woman will have to have lots of resources. Example, money, educational qualification is represented, while the low income and unemployed are marginalized. Oh my God. Okay, even when it comes to women, that's interesting. That's literally interesting, because I feel like I come from the other side of the world. Okay, so maybe the middle truth is, maybe when it comes to the topic, do men fear strong women, maybe there's no a straightforward answer and say like, oh yes, men fear strong women, or no, men don't fear strong women. Maybe the thing is, some men are intimidated. Maybe the truth is, some women are difficult but call it strength. Okay, maybe, okay, you listen what I'm saying. Maybe some men are intimidated. Maybe some women are just difficult and they just term themselves as strong. Maybe some men want control, not partnership. Underline that. Let me type that here. Some men want control, not partnership. I feel like that's maybe a huge problem, and that's the real problem. When you're not looking for partnership, you're looking for a puppet. You're looking for a human being to control. When you're looking for that and you don't find that in your woman, and you end up with a strong woman, of course you're going to be intimidated. Of course you're going to fear this strong woman, because what you are looking for, you are not looking for a strong woman. Okay, you are looking for somebody to control. Okay, Chelsea Moore says every man wants control. Do you think that's something that men should be proud of, Charles? Do you think that that's something that men should be proud of? Control. Let me type that. Some men want control, not partnership. Guys, welcome to the building. We are talking about do men fear strong women? Okay, and we are talking about these middle truths. Okay, Charles says every man wants control. Okay, so but the thing is, remember you're asking the question, do men fear strong women? Do men fear strong women? And now maybe I'm saying some men are intimidated. Okay, some women are difficult, but they call it strength. Some men want control, not partnership. And I feel like that's where the real problem is, because if you want control, you can control your children. Okay, stop having this whole thing of like getting married just to find somebody to control, honestly, because it's literally so annoying. Okay, marrying somebody just so that you can control them, so that you can sell fear to them, so that you can change their personalities, so that you can change who they are, that's really not cool. Charles says independent and educated men should heavily control and influence their households. What happens if you have a woman who is also independent, educated, strong? What happens if now you are this? So Charles is saying independent and educated men should influence and control their household. Okay, so I'm asking you, what happens if the same household there's a woman who is independent, educated, and they can also control the household? What happens when that's the case? Okay, what happens? Charles says protect and influence their household. Okay, Godson blesses says, so Wamboi, do you see yourself as a strong woman? Honestly, I honestly, I feel like I have the character of a strong woman. I feel like I'm strong. I feel like I have been able to be through things that like most women wouldn't have been able to get through them. So I would like to consider myself as somebody who have a strong character and like to be somebody who is like pretty much strong. I do have the character of a strong woman, but at the same time, I don't think I'm still not at that point. I'm still at the stage where like where I know who I am, but if I have a strong man, if I have a strong man as somebody who is not insecure, somebody who knows who they really are and they are not afraid of who I am. So when I choose men who are strong, I am just not strong. Okay? So my personality of being strong kind of gets melted away because you're dealing with a strong person, so they're not intimidated with who you are. So I wouldn't say that I'm strong. I wouldn't say that like I'm strong. It depends with who I'm dealing with. If I'm dealing with a boy, then I'm so strong. If I'm dealing with a real man who is not intimidated by my successes, a real man who is not intimidated by my education, if I'm dealing with a real man, then I'm not really so strong. But when I'm dealing with a boy, yes, I am strong. Ahmed says, give an example. I make $50,000 a year. My woman makes $200,000 a year. I don't need her money. She doesn't need my money. I pay a couple of bills. She pay a couple of bills. Simple. Okay, but how does that make you feel? Can you see the difference? You make $50,000 a year, and she's making $200,000. Can you see the difference? Okay, how does that make you feel? Okay, so she doesn't need your money. You don't need her money. You pay some bills. She pays some bills. But can you see that? That's literally huge. David says, it's 2026. There's no right answer because people are so different these days. Why do you say people are so different these days? People are different these days, but they're still the same people. Okay, guys, remember we're asking, do men fear strong women? Do men fear strong women? Are men strong enough to be with strong women? That's the question that we're asking right here. Insatiable says, a man is supposed to lead just like a male lion. Okay? Honestly, I see that. A man is supposed to lead just like a male lion. But if this male lion is a coward, if this male lion have not accomplished anything, if this male lion have never won a battle, and there's a female there that won the battle, is he still the male, or what happens here? Okay, is he supposed, if a woman helps him to take down an animal that's being a threat, is the lion supposed to be intimidated by this female lion that literally helped with the fight? Africa will never, says hi to you, good to see you. Charles says, can you be strong and happy without kids? Can you be strong and happy without kids? Yes. At the moment I am strong and happy without kids, honestly. Okay, can you be strong? So Charles, can you be strong and happy without children? Because personally I can. Godson says, Ahmed, you're getting into 50-50 territory. I feel like that's a whole conversation. And honestly, with the type of numbers that he gave us, that's not even 50-50. That is like the woman should pay 70 and you 50 because the salary doesn't even allow that. David is just laughing right there. Africa will never says it's a compliment. It's accomplishment all about money. It's not all about money, but money is part of the discussion. Honestly, we all want to sit here and say, I'm just looking for love, not money. I like to be so honest with myself. Like, as a woman or as a person, when I'm looking for a partner, I'm looking for somebody who is gonna enhance my life. Let's just be real with each other. Let's stop this whole lovey-dovey thing, saying things to be politically correct. Okay? Let's stop that. Let's stop that saying things just to be politically correct. Honestly, when I'm looking for a partner, I'm looking for somebody who enhances my life, not makes it worse. Okay? Honestly, that's what I never understand. Let me tell you one thing. That's something that I never understand about us women. why do sometimes women go for somebody who's even doing worse than them or stuff? Because honestly, who said that is accomplishment all about money? To me, it's not all about money, but honestly, at the end of the day, we're not gonna be eating love. Let me tell you. Okay, at the end of the day, we're not gonna sit here and say, oh my god, let's cook the love, let's wear the love. No, it doesn't count. Aloy says, I'm God. Did you say you're good? How are you doing, Aloy? Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. Peter says, Oga Boga. Oga Boga. Oh, does that say, oh my God? Oh, you said, oh my God. Okay, welcome to the live stream. Pat says, you're so pretty, like the accent. Thank you so much. Where are you watching me from? Let me know where you guys are watching me from. My name is Wamboy. I was born and raised in Kenya, and I normally go live every day. Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Insatiable says, it's supposed to be 50-50. I'm not paying all bills. We both need to be working. But you all don't need to be working. You don't need to be working, both of you. If you are a man enough and you want, especially for the men who fear strong women. Yeah, it's not supposed, if you're fearing strong women, you want to be in control, you should be ready to provide 100%. Your woman should only work if she wants to. Honestly, what do you guys think about that? Okay, if you want to be the man of the household, you should be able, you should be in a position to provide 100%. If your woman wants to look for a job, then well and good, is upon her. Okay, guys, remember you're talking about, do men fear strong women? Do men fear strong women? That's what we're talking about. And I'm saying there's some truths here, okay? Some men are intimidated by strong women, okay? Some women are difficult, but they call it strength, okay? Some men want control. Some men just want to have somebody that they can control. They just want a puppet. Some men just want a puppet, okay, that they control here and there, not partnership, okay? Jill Isaac says, hello, how are you? I'm from Kerala, India, watching live. You're watching live. Welcome. Thank you for watching. I'm from Kenya. Mr. says, we both need to work, just in case one is down, the other pick up. That literally makes sense. Honestly, that literally makes sense. We both need to work so that when one of us is down, the other one can pick up. But the man should be in a position to be able to provide even without the woman working. What do you guys think about that? Honestly? The Thunder Max says, hey, hello, what's up? Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. The Thunder Max says, I visited Kenya last month. Good for you. How did you like it? Okay, so another truth when it comes to like the middle truths, do men fear strong women? Do men fear strong women? Remember, that's our topic of the day. Do men fear strong women? So another truth is, some women don't usually want partnership either. They want independence and control. Clock that, okay? Some women don't actually want partnership either. They want independence and control, especially right now. Let me tell you, I feel like, because, and especially for people who grew up in households where their mom was typhoid, she couldn't say anything. She always had, something that used to annoy me with the previous generation baby boomers is the way that, like, so that the woman can go anywhere to even visit, she has to ask for permission to go. Like, oh, I'ma tell my man that I'm okay. I can see how it's respectful to tell my man that I'm going somewhere, but asking for permission, that's really messed up. Okay, so there's this point that says some women don't actually want partnership. They want independence and control. And that's literally true, honestly. And I see that, and I don't blame women. And I know some of, even the men in the building, you honestly don't blame the women for wanting the independence. They've been persevering so long with a lot of things. The Thunder Mark says, I'm from, wow, God, I don't know where that flag is from. Sorry, can you tell me where that flag is from, if you don't mind? Insatiable says, true, but anything can happen when you have to be prepared. Save your money for emergency. That's true. Yeah, for rainy days. save your money for rainy days, because honestly at this point you can't, you know, gone are the days where like people used to have security in their marriages or in their relationships. I feel like gone are those days. Right now we are at a very critical time in our lives where like uh there's no security in relationships. Honestly, there's no security in relationships and even marriages. Like, you gotta save for yourself, because you don't know when you're gonna be left somewhere in the dark wondering. Guys, we are still talking about, do men fear strong women? Do men fear strong women? That's a question that we're asking ourselves. Let me know, do you think men fear strong women? If you're a strong woman, let me know, do you feel like men fear you? And if you would consider yourself as a feminine woman, do you feel like men adore you and not fear you? David Njoroge says 50-50 is a no-go zone for men. My thoughts. So what do you think? What do you think? Do you think men should provide exclusively 100%? Or do you feel like the woman should provide exclusively 100%? Because you say 50-50 is a no-go zone. Gadget versus, tell me how to marry a black girl. Honestly, I'm black, but I don't know how to marry a black girl. Vinod Sharma says, love from India. Okay, thank you for being here. Welcome to the live stream, guys. We are talking about, do men fear strong women? So I've been telling you some truths about the whole situation, because we've talked about why are men intimidated by strong women. Some of the things that we did touch on is like, when a man is with a strong woman, there's this pressure to succeed. Okay, when a man is a strong woman, the traditional gender roles gets challenged. When a man is with a strong woman, his ego gets challenged. And also there's the whole compatibility question of like, maybe their personality not being compatible. There's a lot of things, two dominant person not being compatible, you know. Let me keep reading right here. Elisha says hi. Elisha Fox, hi Elisha, good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. My name is Wamboy. Let me know, Elisha, do you think men fear strong women? Pato254 says, how blessed at getting you live from Nairobi, Kenya. Welcome to the building, Pato. Welcome to the house. Welcome to the family. Thank you so much for being here. Pixel Tell says, hey there. If you don't mind me asking, what is your favorite horror movie? Honestly, I'm not such a fan of horror movies, but I think one of the shows that I watched that was literally scary was His and Hers. I don't know if that counts. Okay. Welcome to the building, you guys. We are still talking about, do men fear strong women? So when we were talking about also compatibility challenge, two dominant personalities can clash. It doesn't matter if it's one alpha female, one alpha male. Another thing, some men prefer peace over control, over fighting for power in the household, because they really want to be in control. So, and then we did ask ourselves, is it fear, or is it just, this doesn't work for me? Is it just that? Okay, so right now we're talking about middle truths. Okay, some men are intimidated, some women are difficult, but they call it strength. Something else that we're talking about, some men want control, not partnership. Okay, some men want control, not partnership. Another thing that's literally a truth, a middle truth, depending on how you look at it, is like, some women don't actually want partnership either. They want independence and control. And especially I feel like for people who grew up seeing their mothers being stifled, that's us. Okay, honestly, me personally, I like having independence and control, especially over my life. Okay, I want to have independence and control over my life, because I didn't like the idea of like, can you imagine, you want to go somewhere, you have to tell a man, oh, I'm gonna be okay. I see that as respect, telling your partner that you're gonna be going, but asking for permission is one thing. For me to tell you, you know what, I'm gonna be going someplace tomorrow, and it's another thing coming to you like, oh, will you give me permission to go? No, I don't want anybody to have that type of power over my life. Honestly, like, for me to be asking for permission to go anywhere, that's literally insane to me. Insatiable says, I don't fear a strong woman. Oh wow, good for you. Maybe you're a strong man. Croy Lee says, lovely girl. Thank you so much, Croy. Welcome to the building. Thank you so much. Feel comfortable right here. Remember, you're talking about, do men fear strong women? Insatiable, my name says, I don't want to control everything. I want us to work together and be on the same level. That's good. That's good. And I feel like when you see women who succeed and they're in marriages, that's because their men are secure. Their men are not intimidated by by their women's success. These are men who have literally achieved things in life. So, which means they are not intimidated by their women's success, okay? Honestly, when I see women who are married, but they dare to dream to become politicians, to hold higher seats, to become judges, to become all these higher seats, honestly, I can only just sit and think about the men who are behind them. Because we always say that, like, what do we usually say, that when you see a man succeeding, there's always a woman behind? Sometimes when you see a woman up there, there's always a man behind who've been pushing her, who've been telling her, you can literally do this. There is a man who is secure behind her. Ahmed Cunningham says, my woman makes more money than me. It doesn't bother me. She can pay for lunch one day, I can pay for lunch the next day. Well, that's what we're talking about. The type of security, you just being secure in yourself. And I feel like this can only happen if you can buy yourself some food, because if you cannot and she knows that, that's literally also a problem. Insatiable says, most women have a problem listening and taking accountability. I don't know if most women have a problem listening. And remember, we did say one of the other half truths that we have is some women are difficult and call it strength, okay? Yeah, and I have to agree. Some of us women, we have, like, we want because we can't beat you. See, first of all, one of the ways that I know men show that they are men is by putting their hands on their women. That's a way that I know, because that's the only way that that's the only thing that he can do to you that you cannot do back to him, okay? So another one thing that a woman does to a man that a man sometimes cannot do is, like, words, verbal abuse, okay? Women, we are so good at that. So when you say women have a problem listening and taking accountability, I can see that. Madusu, hey, hello, young girl. Hello to you. Good to see you guys. We're talking about, do men fear strong women? So another truth when it comes to men fear strong women is, like, if a man is strong, dominant, assertive, do women find that attractive or problematic? Okay? Honestly, this is like a question. If a man is strong, dominant, assertive, do women find that attractive or problematic? Let me type that. If a man is strong, dominant, assertive, hey, I just did type without spaces, so deal with that. So if a man is strong, oh my god, did I just write dominant? Sorry. If a man is strong, dominant, assertive, do women find that attractive or problematic? Let's see what you guys have to say. Insatiable says, but some women are abusive also. I have seen it happen. It's not always the man, and I know that's why. I know some women are also that, but naturally it just comes natural to men to, like, show that he's a man. But yeah, there's that. Charles says, inexperienced and don't have any kids. So are you talking about yourself or me? Inexperienced and don't have any kids. Honestly, like, I don't feel like children show any type of experience, honestly. Can Fortune says, hi. Hi, Can, good to see you. Guys, remember we are talking about, do men fear strong women? Oh, you're talking about yourself, okay? Okay, me too. I don't have experience when it comes to children, and most probably I am comfortable with never having an experience when it comes to like not having children. Because today I did make a video talking about like I can understand, and I know this is out of topic, but I said that I honestly cannot understand how African parents have like 15 children and this person have no income whatsoever. Okay? How can you push yourself to that level? Honestly, I have a hard time seeing that. I have a hard time looking at that and seeing, but I can see that. Okay? So the topic of the day is like, do men fear strong women? Do men fear strong women? That's what we're talking about. Uh, Andrew says hello, hello to you. Natasha Njoroge says hi, hi to you, Natasha. Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. Deno says, what's the topic? The topic is, do men fear strong women? Do men fear strong women? Do men want strong women? Okay. Jason Bender says, hello, hello, United States of America. Welcome to the building. Which side of the US are you watching me from? Andrew says, tapping in from Texas. Oh, welcome. What's the time out there? We are talking about, and you know, I'm liking this because you're having perspective from different parts of the world. Do men fear strong women? Do men fear strong women? That's the question that we are asking. That's what we've been talking about. And I did say like, who is a strong woman? Okay, who is a strong woman? Is somebody maybe who is independent financially, emotionally expressive, assertive, speaks her mind, don't tolerate nonsense, okay? But also I did say sometimes strong means confident, but sometimes it's used to describe someone who doesn't compromise, okay? Let me see. Charles says, kids mark a measure of strength through politics for men, especially if dodging, preventing murder charges or cases. Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't know that. Andrew says it's 1:38 p.m. for me. Okay. Oh, in Texas. Wow. You know, something that I always say here is like, I'll never understand the time difference. I kind of do because I know how it works, but it's literally interesting. It's 9:39 here. 9:39. I'm also assuming it's like 1:39. So it's 9:39 p.m. So you guys, we are like, I think 12 hours, something of that sort. Bas says, hello, Bert. Editor, if you need help. Okay. Achila says, hi to you, Achila. Good to see you. Deno says, no, mine is strong in financial, but it's humble. So no. Okay. So, oh, wow. Okay. So you're telling us, okay, your girl is strong financially, but she's humble. Okay. That's what we're looking for. So guys, this question that we have on the screen, if a man, and I did have some typing problems, but I'm not going to edit. If a man is strong, dominant, assertive, do women find that attractive or problematic? Okay, if a man is strong, dominant, assertive, do women find that attractive or problematic? If a man is strong, dominant, assertive, do women find that attractive or problematic? Honestly, for me, when a man is strong, dominant, assertive, do I find that a problem? No. Honestly, because that's what I do prefer. I prefer somebody who is strong, dominant, assertive. Because honestly, when you're dealing with such a person, they have no problem with you going after your dreams. They have no problem with anything that you try to do, because this person is secure, they are confident that they can provide, they are confident in themselves. So there's nothing that you're going to want to pursue that makes them feel less than, okay? Because I feel like men do put a lot of weight on like what they can be able to do for their partners, what they can be able to do for their children, and things like that, okay? But let me know, if you're a man, do you feel like when you're all those things, strong and things, do you feel like women find that problematic, or is that attractive? That when you're feeling confident, that does that get you more women, or are women more attracted to you, or what happens? Attila says, I think it completely depends on what type of personality the person has. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Arius Reyes Dean says hi. Hi to you, Arius. Oh my god, that name is hard for me. Welcome to the building. Thank you so much. Yasin Zan says hi. Hi to you. Welcome to the building. We're talking about do men fear strong women? Do men fear strong women? Tash Bomb says hi. Hi to you, Tash. Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. Remember, you're talking about do men fear strong women? Do men fear strong women? How are you? I'm good. I'm good. How are you? Okay, would you, so this is a question. Would you date someone stronger than you in personality or success? Let me type that for you guys. Would you date someone stronger than you in personality or success? Would you date someone stronger than you in personality or success? Would you date someone stronger than you in personality or success? Ahmed says, Yasin Zan says, I sub. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, you guys. Honestly, I'm so humbled. Ahmed says, and listen, it's a balance. Dominance, assertive can also equal abuse. We should be civilized to help each other. Okay, honestly, something that I really want, if this channel by the time, honestly, I keep saying that I don't care if I get one view or anything, because I feel like by me being here and us having these discussions, even if I talk to one person and they stop being abusive, they don't stop abusing women, because I grew up in a patriarchal society, a society where like women were literally tools of being abused or something. Okay, if I really, if the only success that I have through this channel is like to talk to people to stop doing that, because you guys know we talk about these things right here, if that's the only success that I get from the channel, then I'll have accomplished my dream, honestly. So would you date someone stronger than you in personality or success? I'm trying to type that, and this time round I'm trying to make sure I don't have typos. Would you date someone stronger than you in personality or success? Would you date someone stronger than you in personality or success? Would you date someone stronger than you in personality or success? Yasin says, how old are you? I'm 23. I'm gonna be turning 24 soon, in like a month. Yeah. So that's how old I am. Insatiable says, most people can't find a good person because everything is based on looks. Yeah. And I feel like most of us women, we are literally attracted to bad boys, quote unquote bad boys. We are attracted to men with like tattoos, men who have their hair done, earrings. There's this image that we are literally looking for. But when you see a man who is collected, he's well groomed, you know, he's wearing a suit, you're like, that's probably a good boy, and I'm really not looking for that. Okay. Yeah, so I see what you're saying. Like, most of us can't find good people because we judge people based on their looks. Okay, and it's really unfortunate, but you know, the mind, or your heart wants what it wants, and like, you know, it wants what it wants. You can't stop that. Arius says, Dean says, do I know you? I don't know if you know me. Should you? Tash Bomb says, I like to sub. Thank you so much, you guys. Welcome to the building. Welcome to the family, you guys. We're talking about do men fear strong women? Do men fear strong women? Let me know your insights. I'm going to be reading that out loud right here on I Am Wamboi Live. My name is Wamboi. Remember, we have a question here. Would you date someone stronger than you in personality or success? Would you date someone stronger than you in personality or success? The freeze zone says, personality wise, I prefer a softer personality. So you don't want a strong person. You prefer somebody who complements your strongness. You want somebody who is the opposite of who you are. Makes sense to me, honestly. It does make sense to me. Attila, remember guys, we have a question on the screen. Would you date someone stronger than you in personality or success? Would you date someone stronger than you in personality or success? The free zone says, personality wise, I prefer Attila says personality gives you courage, therefore making you successful. So therefore it's kind of like a balance. If you have a good personality and they do have a good personality, you could come together. Okay, so but the question is, would you date somebody with stronger personality, who have a stronger personality than you, or even success? I feel like when you ask most women, would you date someone who have a stronger personality and success, I feel like most women would literally naturally say yes, because we are meant to be companions and things to our men. Okay, but I feel like less men would say yes, that they would be looking for that. I feel like men are looking for somebody who is softer, like Da Frison said. Remember, we have a question right there. Would you date someone stronger than you in personality or success? Ahmed says, in success, I would date a woman. My woman now makes more money than me, but I don't like a loud, extra aggressive woman. No, no, no. Ahmed says, in success, I would date a woman. My woman now makes more money than me, but I don't like a loud, extra aggressive woman. No, no, no. Okay, when you remove the aggressive part, then you know, a woman can be loud, you know. Okay, so so what are you looking for when it comes to personality? Because you said loud, extra aggressive. Are you looking for somebody who is silent, shy, likes to be behind the scenes, they don't like to be the star of the show? So is that what you're talking about? Aquera Milton says yes, yes, yes. Oh, Insatiable says yes. Would you date someone stronger than you in personality or success? So for those who said yes, just yes, why? Remember, guys, you're talking about, do you think men fear strong women? Do you think men fear strong women? That's the question of the day. You've been hanging out with me. I am Womboy. Thank you so much. My name is Womboy. Ahmed Karing says, I want a woman who speaks up for herself, not masculine. Okay, listen. Ahmed says, I want a woman who speaks up for herself, not masculine or overly assertive. That's a problem. Okay, and you know what? And I see what you're saying right there. I see what you're saying. I want a woman who speaks up on herself, not masculine or overly assertive. That's a problem. Okay, honestly, I feel like for some of us, I don't know, I get told that I am kind of feminine, but this, some of us, especially personally, I'm the only girl in a house of boys. Okay, so sometimes I do have that like toughness, because we didn't grow up like, oh my god. Okay, let's say this is a cake. Okay, in my household, we didn't grow up, oh my god, this is a cake, bring it. Okay, I was dealing with men, so it's like they just come, they're not even boring, they just grab it. So most of the time I do present that like masculine personality, but I see what you're saying. I want a woman who speaks up for herself, not masculine or overly assertive. But I feel like I'm somebody who speaks up for myself, but I wouldn't call myself masculine, because I think I just learned how to speak up for myself, especially growing up around men. Welcome to the building, you guys. We are talking about, do men fear strong women? Do men fear strong women? Charles Moore says depends on the job. Da Frison says yes, I agree with Ahmed. Charles says some jobs take a lot from your lifestyle and peace. Okay, that's what it is. And also, I think because now we are here with this topic, I would like to ask men, does age count as part of the being strong? And so does age count when it comes to like you saying that you're looking for a soft woman, a woman who's not out there loud, aggressive, and all of that? And remember, we're talking about, do men fear strong women? So does age count? Do you want a woman who is younger than you so that you can be able to control her better? So let me know, how does age also relate to like, do you see an older woman to be strong or to be softer? What is your take, you guys, especially the men in the building? IS just says the script has been flipped with dynamic between men and women. Okay, and I know, because of course, because of especially right now, the modern day lifestyle right now, there will be a lot of changes. Honestly, I hope we are still here in 100 years, which is mostly impossible. Mostly maybe we are gonna be gone before then. But honestly, in 100 years from now, the story is gonna be different. Honestly, I feel like maybe women might be doing better. I can't wait for the time, but I feel like we are almost there, because Kamala Harris almost became president of United States. So which means we are almost there. Okay, we might not get there right now, but of course I feel like in 100 years women are gonna be all the way there. Because but it's really saddens me for such a society, because I feel like we've put all our energy into like making women better, giving women opportunities, and also forgetting men. Okay, I don't know. uh I take pleasure from strong women. um Pleasure, only pleasure? Do you like something else from strong women? Attila says, small question, what do you mean by strong? Like physically strong, or personality strong, or like mentally strong or aggressive? Is that what you mean? No, I'm saying all round. I'm saying educated. I'm saying physically strong. I'm also saying personality. I'm saying I did read what a strong woman means. I'm saying financially independent, emotionally expressive. I'm saying a woman who doesn't take nonsense, a woman who speaks her mind. That's what I'm saying. Attila, I don't know if I answered your question. Makadur says, hello sister, I'm the Solomon, I'm the son of Solomon, okay? The guy who wants several wives. Albert Muyong says, good afternoon, my friend. Good afternoon to you. Good to see you. Where are you watching me from? Welcome to the stream. I says, men favor young women as they are more coachable, amenable, and fertile. They don't have so much trauma or failed relationships, tainting a potential relationship. Okay, and you know what? I feel like that's why older men are like so much into younger women, honestly. And not to sit here and say that is a bad thing, but I feel like older men, like, people or men who are this men's women who are this men's age. For example, women who are in their 50s, they keep wondering why men in their 50s don't want them, or like they prefer to go for the young ones. Okay, the truth is, when like right now when I'm young, it's so easy for somebody to coach me or to make me to be whatever that they want me to be. Okay, and also like this, that like IS mentioned, like they don't have a history of failed relationships. Another thing is like this, yeah, because for an older woman, she has a lot of experiences. Most of the time I feel like an older woman does not tolerate nonsense. She already know what she wants, take it or leave it. She's emotionally expressive. Most of the time she's financially independent. She speaks her mind. So okay, guys, I did ask a question. When it comes to strong, do you think men, okay, or as a man, do you prefer an older woman or a younger woman? Because we are also talking about, do men fear strong women? I think the difference between men and women are valuable. Ajit Kumar says, who are you? I am Omboy is my name. Welcome to the stream. Candy Berry says, can I have... Yasin Zad. Okay, welcome Candy to the stream. Hi to you, good to see you. The Frizzle says, environment may affect how women learn how to interact with men. But I think men traditionally respond better to a milder and a less confronting personality in women. Yeah, I feel like men have this energy to them that they really want to be the one who is saying, like, yeah, they're the ones who are in control. I'm the man in the house. I'm gonna put my foot I'm gonna put my foot down and stuff like that. I mean, honestly, I'm not mad at that. Like, yeah, I like a man who knows what he's doing, because most of the time, let me tell you, when you're dealing with a man who have this weakness and stuff, you're dealing with a person who is literally insecure, which means most of the time you're gonna be arguing over nothing. But I feel like a man who is strong, who knows who he is and stuff, he is not intimidated by anything that you wanna do. So I think there's somebody who says height doesn't matter when it comes to a strong woman and a strong man. Let me tell you, okay, I feel like, honestly, and this is just honestly my take. I'm a tall, I'm a tall woman, okay? I'm a tall girl, okay? And I've always been conscious about my height because most of the time I used to attract really short guys, okay? But okay, but this time, okay, honestly, this was not even somebody that was seeing, it was just like a friend, okay? Uh, so they were literally so short, and honestly, because I'm tall, I don't think about it twice when I make comments about like eating and stuff like that, okay? And I hope that friend of mine never watches this video because he will never talk again to me. So at some point we cooked and like we were serving, and everybody got their plate, so when he got his, he said like, oh my god, this is a lot of food, reduce. And I said, just eat so you can grow big. You know, and honestly, I didn't think twice when I said that. It was just something that I just said, and it didn't mean, it's just like the way I would tell anybody, just eat so you grow big. Like, but honestly, that was such a hard one for him. He really got upset. Our friendships ended right there and then. So that's why I was saying, even with the height, it honestly matters, because I can only imagine if you were in a romantic relationship, that would have put such a strain. And the fact that he already feels inadequate when it comes to the height, that wasn't gonna work anyways, okay? Ugh. Ahmed says, no, now I don't want a weak woman either. Just someone who is balanced, not overly assertive, calm, but knows when to get serious and stand up for herself, okay? That makes sense to me. Ahmed says, I prefer someone close to my age. Okay. You don't prefer somebody who is really young, you don't want to coach them. Chelsea says, really, money, time, effort, and care should keep a smile on her face once you are consistent. I feel like that. I also feel like that should. I feel like that should. Money, time, effort. Yeah, yeah. But honestly, if you're giving one and leaving the others, then maybe that might not work. The free zone says, I would rather a younger and near my age. Okay, okay. Wow, you guys, most of you are saying you would rather somebody who is near your age. Olaf says, yeah. Olaf, okay, honestly, your comments were not coming through. I hope you didn't get upset over that, because YouTube really sometimes, you'll put a comment and it won't come through. ISS, we are still great apes after all. Have a nice day. That's your conclusion. All of these guys have been talking of men listening. Okay, you've been listening. Thank you so much for staying with us. Dafri says, it boils down to preference, one boy. Some women like shorter guys. And I know that some women, but you know, if that shorter guy is not feeling confident in himself, he's not feeling confident in what he wants, what he wanna do and stuff like that. Yeah, it makes me question like, okay, honestly. Mahir Rajput says, where are you from? I'm from Kenya. Olaf says, okay. Tales of Bintu says, wherever you do, remember dust is always constant. Okay. Let me tell you, character development. That's what we call that right there. We are character development. That's what we call that. Character development. VJY1 says hello to you. I think there exists a life out there where like you're not character developed every now and then. And honestly, I wanna hope that there is a life out there where you just don't always get character developed, because it's literally so humbling. Okay, let's see if there's I think we did cover all the questions. Difference, would you did okay. Okay, okay, I have a question right here, you guys. So have you ever felt like you had to shrink yourself to keep a relationship? And how was that like for you? Lungila Msimanga says, shut up, and the other two are doing you know, you just shut up. Or you know what, just keep moving, okay? Just don't bring that nonsense around here. I don't entertain that. Have you ever felt like you had to shrink yourself to keep a relationship? Have you ever felt like you had to shrink yourself Have you ever felt like you had to shrink yourself? You had to shrink yourself to keep a relationship. And of course, remember, guys, the question is still the same. Do men fear strong women? Do men fear strong women? Have you ever felt like you have to shrink yourself to keep a relationship? Have you ever felt, Ahmed Kanin says, I keep hearing a lot of men saying money, money, money. Listen, if you're using money instead of character, your personality, she will cheat on you because she doesn't like you. I've seen it. Okay, you know what? And I feel like that's just the honest truth. Like, if the only thing that you can offer in the relationship is the money, then she will be with you for the money, but then she will be with another person so that she can get sorted her needs, you know? Because I feel like men have this feeling or like this belief that like women also don't want to be like men feel like they're the only ones who like really care about having sexual activities and stuff. But I will tell you for sure right now, also women care about that, okay? And if you're not giving that also, yes,